Hi everyone! As per my last video, I told you all that I would show you my pet fish, Andrew, since this week is ocean life and ocean animals, sea life, and this type of fish is a koi betta fish, so they actually don't live in oceans. They live in warm tropical climates, fresh water. So I fill this up with fresh water. I put some conditioner in it to make it swimmable for Andrew. And in the back there is a heater because he needs to have hot water all the time. And over on this top corner is a filter, so his water stays nice and fresh and clean. You can see he seems very happy. I just fed him some dinner. So I told you I would share this with you. I would share a video with you so you can all see Andrew. Again, he's a male koi betta fish, and he lives in fresh water. But I know we've been talking about sharks and fish and all different types of animals that live in the water. So I thought I would share with you before I begin today's video. There he goes, going to the top, looking for more food. Okay. Hi everyone, happy Thursday. Today we are going to be learning about waves in the ocean, and then later on we're going to create our own wave in a water bottle. So what you'll need at home is a water bottle, and we'll be taking the label off. So hopefully you have this type of water bottle, or if not, you can just watch me create the wave. And you need food color dye, the blue. So again, I went to the Dollar King that's closest to my house, and they had these color dyes in the baking section. So those are the main ingredients that you'll need for today's project. I know some of you made your at-home aquarium, and I loved seeing what you were able to create with materials at your own house. So for today, you need a water bottle, blue coloring dye. You might think you don't have it, but if you ask a parent or a sibling at home, you might have it. Again, I bought this from Dollar Tree, and you'll need it just to make the water blue. Okay, we'll be working with that later. But first, I would like to talk and show you a book about waves that I really enjoy, just to get us started with our wave lesson today. And I hope you are able to join me in making your own wave.
Everyone watching this has probably spent some time at the ocean at some point in your life. The sandy beaches, the peace of the ocean, the crashing waves. But what even are ocean waves, and how do they work? Waves are caused by a number of things and contain massive amounts of energy. In fact, just 2% of the total energy of ocean waves could be used to power the entire world. There are essentially three types of waves: wind-driven waves, tidal waves, and tsunamis. Wind-driven waves form as wind passes over the surface of the water. Pretty simple. Energy from the motion of the air molecules in the wind is transferred to the top layer of the water through friction and pressure. These transfers of energy cause disturbances in the water that is carried through the water. One thing interesting about ocean waves is that the water isn't actually moving. Rather, it's the wave that moves through the water in general. This means that as a wave moves through the water itself essentially moves up and down, reacting to the wave energy moving through it. So wind can cause waves through friction and pressure, but there's also another hidden force to certain waves: gravity. Tidal waves are not massive tsunami-like waves like you may be thinking. These are actually just large waves that move across our planet. The gravitational forces of the Earth, Sun, and Moon affect how the water on the Earth behaves. The Moon has the greatest effect on waves as it moves around the Earth. As the Moon moves, it causes oceans to swell on either side of the Earth, or the side closest to the Moon and furthest from the Moon. As the Earth rotates, tides around the world go in and out, as we all probably know. The actual mechanics of this might surprise you, though. The bulge of the water on the Earth stays consistent with the location of the Moon, and it's actually the movement of the Earth that greatly affects tides going in and out. This gives the appearance of high and low tides when in actuality it's the Earth that's moving, not the water. The last type of waves to discuss are abnormal in nature. Tsunami waves are large, powerful waves caused by geological disturbances like earthquakes, landslides, or volcanic eruptions. Tsunamis are generally very large simply due to their nature and formation. Now that we've gone through the different types of waves, we need to understand a little bit more about the physics of these waves.
Hi everyone. Today, since we're learning about oceans and waves, I thought we'd read a really nice book today, and it's from the website Epic. So if you have an Epic book account, you can read this story on your own. It's called The Pacific Ocean. It's written by Kyle McClear and it's illustrated by Katie Morey. It's about a young girl who does not want to go away for summer vacation, but after a few days at the beach, she falls under the ocean's spell. So it's called The Pacific Ocean. Let's get started. Today we leave for summer vacation. I do not want to go. I want to stay in the city with my friends, but Papa says no, we're leaving. At the airport, I drag my suitcase behind me. There will be nothing to do. On board, I feel the rumble of the plane, and then we climb up above the busy streets and the tiny rooftops. We climb through puffs of cloud, and the city is gone. And you can see the narrator of the story. The young girl is kind of cuddled up in her bed, and you can really tell she does not want to leave for summer vacation. We are staying in a boxy house on the Pacific Ocean. All we can see is water, a never-ending roll of gray, blue, white, dull, droning, dreary water. What do you think? Asks my older brother. I shrug. Then I go and count the days until we go home. And you can see that their view is just the ocean blue. The next morning, my brother races down to the ocean. Mama nudges me to follow him, but I shake my head. I know the water will be cold, steal your breath away cold. I'd rather do nothing. That's her moping schedule with the boring grass. She'll watch dust, play chess alone, pull loose thread, stare at the walls. She drew a picture of the boring sea and the boring rock. So I'm thinking about, I want to make a prediction. And I predict that being surrounded by the sea while on vacation will really change the narrator's mind. She's going to wind up really liking the ocean. That's my prediction. Let me know your predictions. On the third day, I follow slowly, grumping down the path. The water is cold, even colder than I thought. But we wade in and swim fast. We swim along the rocks. We swim through spots of warmth. The next morning, I jump out of bed, a flurry of bed sheets. My brother rushes to catch up with me on the beach. We float on our backs, and the wind blows ripples across the water's surface. And those ripples grow into waves that lift us up and up. So we just watched that YouTube video about waves and how they cause a rippling effect because of the earth rotating. So if you see in this illustration, you can see that they're laying in the waves and kind of floating along. Later, we walk with the seabirds along the shoreline where the tide rolls backward and forward over our feet. Splish, swish, splosh, splash. The whole world rushes ahead, but the ocean does its own thing, rolling backward and forward. Wash, swash, splush, hush. There is no late or hurry or racing in ocean time. So I slowly am seeing the ocean growing on this young girl. Here's a secret. I used to call it the Pacific Ocean until my brother corrected me. But he doesn't know that a place can have two names. One that is correct and for saying out loud, and one that is private and for staying inside your head. And this illustration, if you can tell me what this shows a picture of, You get bonus points. We just learned about the bottom of the ocean floor. So what do you think this is an illustration of? Leave me a private comment if you know what this is a picture of. When the sun comes out, we sit on the rocks and watch the waves. Shine, shimmer, gleam, glow. It makes me dizzy to imagine where the sea ends. The ocean is so big that it makes every thought and worry I have shrink and scatter. But one thought stays. I want this ocean to be mine. Mama has a snowy mountain in Japan and Papa has the South Downs in England. I want this ocean to be mine. I want to put it in a bowl and carry it home to the city. If I had my own ocean, I could let my thoughts swim free and dream of an underwater life. I want to put the ocean in a bowl. But my brother, who does know something, says if I do that, the ocean will be less. He says the ocean may be big, but it isn't endless. I try to imagine the earth with no ocean. Would the coast bump together? The bright coral reef drain of color? The large yellow moon lose its mirror? So I see the word coral reef, and this is something that we learned 2 days ago. So that we can conclude that that's what the picture shows in the previous pages. On the ocean seafloor, consisting of the living and dead coral that create coral reefs or home to the fish. How about a glass full of ocean? I ask my brother. He shakes his head. So I leave the ocean as it is for next time. Tonight is our last night here. I do not want to go. As the house grows quiet, I can hear it. I can hear the sound of the waves rolling in and out, backward and forward. I can hear the dolphins splashing and the herring jumping and the whales singing their underwater songs. I can even almost hear the quiet snails and sleepy starfish near the bottom, where it's too dark to see. If people ask, I'll tell them the ocean is full of noises. Then I'll tell them that if they listen very carefully, they might even hear the ocean in their own breath. Hush. My brother, who sometimes surprises me, says there is still so much we do not know about the ocean. The ocean is a mystery of mysteries. But I can imagine. I can picture every swimming thing moving from reef to reef, moving down into the deep secret places where I cannot see them. All those creatures, silent and invisible. And that's when I know I don't need to put the ocean in a bowl. I see the octopus and the clownfish, the firefly squid, the lion's mane jellyfish, and a seahorse. So she's imagining all of these creatures underwater. Even though you don't see these creatures when you go swimming, they do exist underwater. Because even when I get home, back to the city and my friends, it will all still be there deep down inside of me. Calm blue, ruffled gray, playful green, mysterious black, foggy silver, roaring white. No matter where I am, this specific ocean will be with me. Okay, and that's the end of our novel. And we finished this story. So that was very interesting, and I can say that my prediction from the beginning of the story was correct. The young girl, the narrator, wound up really loving the ocean and being near the sea. And she loved the waves, floating in the waves, and the underwater creatures that the ocean has. So that kind of goes along with our theme this week of ocean life and ocean and waves today. So please stick around so you can see the fun activity of making your own wave at home. Hi everyone, now it's time for our waves experiment. And actually not mentioned before, you do need some type of oil. So it could be a vegetable oil. I have canola oil. So you have or you need a water bottle or it could be a jar. You can take any clear bottle that has a top to it. I just had a water bottle, and I feel like a lot of people have water bottles. If not, you can fill a jar up with water. So you don't want to fill it up to the tippy top. So I poured some of mine out. So I would say you're filling the bottle a little more than halfway, almost 3/4 of the way. This is where the math comes in, okay? And if you have food coloring or food dye, you can take the blue and that'll give it the nice ocean effect. And you can, ooh, it looks pretty. Squirt as much food coloring dye as you want. I think mine is enough. You can put more, you can put less. That way it actually looks like a real wave. I'm gonna kind of mix mine together just so good, perfect. And then this is where the vegetable oil or canola oil comes into play. You're just gonna pour a little bit, and I would have a parent or an older sibling around with you so you're not spilling. Notice I have a rag underneath everything. You don't want to get food dye anywhere, and you don't want to get vegetable oil anywhere. So I'm an adult and I'm still putting it on top of a rag because I don't want there to be any mess. Okay, so you're putting just a little bit to cover the top of the water. Okay, the vegetable oil actually sits on top, it doesn't mix, and you'll see it at the top. Now this is the part where you really need a parent around to really tighten the bottle. Okay, this is super tight. The reason why you need it to be tied on tight is because you don't want anything to spill out. This has food coloring dye and vegetable oil. Those are ingredients that are super messy. This is just meant to be a fun science experiment for us since we're doing waves and oceans and ocean animals. You can even throw a plastic fish in here if you want. I'm not putting my real fish in here. And then all you have to do is move your bottle back and forth, and you can see the vegetable oil laying on top, and that serves as the white foam in the wave. I'm gonna add a little more vegetable oil. You can add some more depending on how much you put in the first time, because you really want that wave effect. Okay, but don't waste your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa's vegetable oil, okay? This is just a simple, quick, and easy science experiment. Again, making sure it's screwed on tight, and then you can see it looks like the foam of the waves. A lot of people like putting in, I saw online, plastic animals that go in, but you can see the top layer of vegetable oil looks like the top layer of a wave, and this looks like the ocean water at the shoreline. So if you've been to the beach, you've seen waves that look like this before coming up. And even if you shake it, the vegetable oil will always be on top. So that'll always look like the top layer of the ocean or the top layer of a wave. And if you're moving it back and forth, remember, it's not the water that's doing this, it's the Earth's rotation. So that's very interesting. I know I physically have to move this because this isn't a real ocean, it's ocean in a bottle. So please let me know, and you can see the light color of the top of the wave and then the deep blue sea. You can hold it like that too, as long as it doesn't drip out. So interesting. And you can shake it. You can have fast waves, you can have slow waves, whatever you want to do at home. And like I said, when I looked this up online, I found some really interesting things of people putting in little fish, fake fish, little like a little octopus in there, a squid. So please let me know, and you can see, let me move the camera closer to me. You can see the foam of the wave. There's a better angle. And how it can go back and forth. So as the Earth rotates, the water forms waves. And if you want to see the process of a wave forming again, remember the 3 types of waves the video talked about, and you can see what causes the 3 different waves. So it's really interesting. If you make this ocean in a bottle, please let me know. You can either keep it. This is actually looking really pretty now that I think about it. This is a really light, looks like a green almost, and the ocean blue. So please let me know if you make this at home, if you decide to add any plastic or rubber animals in the ocean bottle, and if you do, send me pictures, send me videos. I know I've gotten pictures of the aquariums in your mason jars, which were so interesting and fun to see at home. I hope you enjoyed my fish today, and I hope you enjoyed our little ocean in a bottle, wave in a bottle experiment. If you have any ideas or anything you'd like me to do, please let me know in a private comment. Have a great day.